the Bronx, and actually also from Mariachi El Bronx.
Mariachi El Bronx, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
indeed. So, first question up is, are you religious? What does religion mean to you?
Well, here's, I'm not, I grew up religious, okay? I grew up Christian, but you learn, at least for me personally, I learned that the best way out of that whole scenario is to figure out your own path in life. So now, I consider myself a spiritual person. I'm not an atheist. I definitely believe there's something in control of all this. I'm not about to try to proclaim I know who it is or what it is, but I try to live a life that has some sort of moral standard. I try not to be an asshole, and I just kind of go by the fact that, you look around places like this, we get to travel the world and play music. It's a very humbling experience, and you know that your life on this earth is limited, and you just try to go about it in a profound and prolific and creative and loving way.
Yes, wow, great answer. So actually what the young people say nowadays, YOLO, you only live once.
Yeah, in short, YOLO.
YOLO. Okay, good. So, why am I asking you this question? Well, don't be afraid, we're not all about religion, but we just always structure our interviews according to a religious theme.
Okay, no, that's cool because you always get the same stuff in interviews, so this is nice. It's something different, so
yeah.
I'm okay with it.
That's our intention, yeah.
I was just talking to the band earlier before we played. I was asking everybody if they've ever seen a shrink before, because I'm thinking that when I get home, I might go see a shrink, and not because I'm crazy or anything dramatic, but I've just got. You know how sometimes when you're only talking to yourself, you can come up with bullshit answers for your own questions?
Yeah.
And I need someone to just be able to go, no, you're an idiot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think I'm going to see a shrink when I get home.
Okay, he's going to see a shrink when he gets home. We'll pray for you.
Thank you.
Okay, now, you kind of inspired us to go with a certain theme this time, because we listened to your song, The Unholy Hand, which had the Antichrist, and it had the Holy Ghost in it. So, what we are going to do today is talk about the 12 fruits of the Holy Ghost. Have you heard of those?
Okay. The 12 fruits of the Holy Ghost?
Yes.
I don't believe I've ever heard of those, but I'm ready.
Okay, we'll guide you through them then.
Yeah, got it. Come on, let's do it.
So, first one up is goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, you know about goodness though, right?
I do.
So, in another interview, we read that the Unholy Hand actually is a reference to the duality between the Bronx and El Bronx, and that got me wondering, why would you say that the Bronx is the Antichrist and El Bronx the Holy Ghost? Is it because El Bronx helped you when you hit the creative wall, you said?
Well, yeah, I would say so, and also just in theme. You know what I mean? The Bronx is a much darker spirit.
Yeah.
And El Bronx is a much, it's kind of more of a salvation, sonically. So.
Is it also, can you see it in the lyrics, or can you see
in the lyrics and personally for me, it's like, when it comes time to do Bronx stuff, it's always a much not darker, but just much more aggressive, a much angrier type of thing. Just like punk rock, electric guitar, that type of chaotic energy brings out a certain thing in all of us, and it's usually the way we express our anger and injustice in our own lives or in the world around us. So it's a much heavier spirit.
Yeah. Okay.
But El Bronx is a chance to celebrate what's going on that's good in life, and that you can stop and be like, fuck, this is great, So
that's important as well.
Well, no, you have to.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like I didn't realize how important that was until El Bronx came around, and you could see how people get wrapped up in just being miserable all the time. How they just like, fuck, I got to write on the record, fuck, like, kill me, but it's like, you have to be able to celebrate, because there's nothing, we're by no means a rich band or anything like this, but we've been a band now for about 11 years. We've managed to financially sustain ourselves, It's like I have an apartment, I play music for a living. I don't have to do anything else. I get to enjoy my life. And there's a certain point where it becomes fake. to not acknowledge that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you
Like
mean.
to not be like, oh, never mind all this, never mind my dreams coming true. I'm mad and punk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I really do.
That's like fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And I'm not retarded. I'm sorry. R word. I know that's not.
You know what he means.
You know what I mean? But it's like I hate when people do that because then it becomes fake. And if there's one thing, like happy fake is bad, but there's nothing worse than like negative fake. Like
Yeah,
I'm mad
that's true.
fake. You know, and I'm not gonna fake when I'm pissed off. And so now I don't have to because we've got 2 bands.
Yeah. So you can put your energy in both of them. Your positive
Absolutely.
energy and your negative energy will
Absolutely.
be combined and it's balanced.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So let's go to the second one, which is patience. You gotta have patience in this business, right? Now, the patience of the people waiting for a new The Bronx album has been rewarded with a very good and successful 4th release. Apparently, the mariachi music served its purpose then, breaking the creative wall down. Actually.
Yeah.
So now that you're touring with the new The Bronx album, should we be expecting another El Bronx release after this, or doesn't it work that way?
It will work that way. There's going to be another El Bronx release and then another Bronx record. So, patience is a very important virtue.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have been born with patience.
It's a good trait to have.
Well, it's a trait you don't really realize you have until you see other people that don't have it.
Indeed.
And no, it's a hard thing creatively too, because sometimes you have to be patient and you can't force things. You know, you have to let things come to you, and you have to let creativity and life circle around and happen to where things have meaning. It's very hard sometimes because with deadlines and you know, you want to be creative, and sometimes you get home and you don't feel like you have no purpose because you're not writing the song, or you're not doing this or you're not doing that. And you have to be able to be patient, you know, to be able to enjoy the life and enjoy your time home and be able to say it's okay, and eventually, you know, the creative cycle's going to come back around. And it's scary as hell, because whenever you're facing a new record, especially, you know, after years down the road, you don't know where it's going to come from.
Yeah.
You have no clue. Like right now, looking into the next El Bronx record, it's just a fucking empty void.
Yeah, you don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's scary when you look at that.
Yeah.
Because something's got to come from somewhere.
Of course.
And you know, and you have to trust and know that eventually that's gonna happen. It's gonna click on, but you gotta have the patience to not fucking let it drive you insane.
And the people have to have patience as well. Then.
And the people have to have patience as well, because you know people, you know, it's better to wait for something, to get something that's worthwhile, than to get something too soon. You know, that's raw. That's not even cooked right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I couldn't agree more.
It's like, you know. So, yeah.
Okay, so everybody have patience. He will find what has to come in the empty space. So, now, talking about Mariachi El Bronx. There are no less than 8 people involved. Doesn't that require a lot of patience from time to time, being back together in a rehearsal room or on stage for that matter?
Yes, yeah, it does. Not necessarily so much patience. It's just a lot of timing and a lot of scheduling. The cool thing about it is that, you know, there's a lot of people who have the capability to write songs for Mariachi El Bronx. You know, our violin player Ray is a badass, prolific mofo, and he writes songs like crazy. Our guitar player Vincent Hidalgo comes from diamond lineage of Los Lobos, and you know, Joby and I and the rest of the Bronx guys, we're on the road and we're always kind of thinking and writing and doing that stuff too. So it becomes more of in the case of El Bronx, it's like the more we have, the better we are. You know, it's like we got a lot better when we got Ray and when we got Keith, the extra trumpet player, and all this stuff. And it's not necessarily, it's kind of perfect because it's not a competing thing, it's not an ego thing. Everyone just contributes and it's great.
Yeah.
And it's hard because the only hard thing about it is scheduling, because Bronx puts out a record. You know, those guys got to kind of figure out what they're gonna do for a little while, but luckily, you know, they're badasses and talented dudes, and they have other gigs, so it's cool. But it can be stressful. I'll tell you that.
That's what I can imagine.
It can be stressful, but it's worth it because everyone has a genuine interest in what we're doing.
Yeah.
Everyone really loves it.
Yeah,
so
everything works out.
So everything works out.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad for that. So.
Me too.
Yeah, I can imagine. Let's go to Chastity. So I reckon you're not a really big fan of Chastity and Primness, looking at your at times hilarious video clips. We, for instance, see male strippers in your youth wasted video, and you say that you've always fantasized about them. So what on earth do you mean by that?
Well, fantasized is a loose term.
Yeah.
I don't mean fantasized like sexually.
Yeah, I was hoping that.
But we've always, ever since our second record, we've come up with the idea of having a video with male strippers. Because there's just, there's nothing greater. There's nothing like lamer, cheesier, like male stripping is just bad.
Okay.
But we love it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the way it is.
Okay.
So we like, man, we're a bunch of weirdos. You know, you gotta take that as it is. We're weird dudes.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
we try to do things that are when we can. Because so many times nowadays, music videos don't mean shit anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, for bands like us, punk bands, whatever, people watch a music video for about 10 days and they fucking forget it ever existed.
Yeah, you got this band standing
You know
there,
what I mean? Like,
pieces of paper flying around.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, oh great, you spent fucking $100 grand on that video and no one gives a shit.
Yeah, indeed.
You know what I mean? It's like that time is just gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
Gotta meet
But
somebody.
it is at the same time a cool opportunity to do something creative.
Yeah.
You know, like with your music. So we try to do it within our means, on a cheap ass budget, and try to do some funny stuff.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
in another video, the one of the Unholy Ghost, the Unholy Man, yeah, you also feature elderly people in a drag race. Were you by any chance inspired by the show Off Their Rockers, or?
Well, you know, we thought old people would be funny. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if it is or if it isn't. I'm still on the fence with that video, but you can't win them all.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
thought it was funny.
Yeah,
I thought it was
good, good, that's good.
Because it's do you know Off Their Rockers? The TV
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a Belgian concept.
Really?
In Belgium, it's called Benidorm Bastards. Yeah, so that's why I thought that was funny.
I like that.
These ideas, are these the offspring of one great yet somewhat twisted mind, or do you all sit together in a room and talk about it, what you were gonna do in the videos?
It's a collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah.
That's what the Major League Baseball would call it. But no, usually, you know, like with certain things, like the idea for the mariachi band was Joby's. You know, Joby does a lot of the stuff artistically, like he designs all the merch. You know, like he's kind of the engine of the band. You know, but when it comes to ideas like, you know, videos and all that kind of stuff, you know, we have so much time between ourselves. As a group, we come up with the most fucking ridiculous shit that
But fucking brilliant, maybe.
you can't even imagine. We've got a new video that we just figured out the next couple days.
Oh, I'm
The last
excited.
couple days. We're gonna make it, and it's gonna be a masterpiece.
Okay, that's a teaser right there.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So let's go on to the last one, which is Joy. We're
Yeah.
all happy now, right?
Yeah.
So I also read it would bring you joy if you could do an original soundtrack for a movie that would suit your music. But what do you mean by that? What kind of movie would that have to be? A movie about music?
Well, yeah, Magic Mike too.
Yeah.
No, I just, you know, one thing that we've had, you know, there's been an amazing amount of special things that have come up between Bronx and El Bronx. Ever since El Bronx started, you know, the mix and the match between the two bands has been so amazing. We haven't really found that thing yet that has brought both bands together. And so it's my
Epitome?
it's my dream.
Yeah.
You know, the opportunity would present itself to where there would be a motion picture to where we could write Bronx songs and El Bronx songs and do a complete soundtrack for a movie.
Yeah.
You know, with both, you know, mariachi, punk rock stuff, and have it be, you know, complete thought, complete idea, you know, along with someone else's vision of a film. It just seems like the coolest way to bring the two bands together. You know, I mean, we've played both bands together. They go together live, no problem. But I would love a way to sync the two. There's no real way to sync them other than that, in my opinion. You can't mix punk rock and mariachi sonically. At least we'll never do that.
Okay.
Like, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna have a Bronx like song with a mariachi breakdown or whatever. It's just not gonna fucking work. It just doesn't. This is lame. But to have a complete idea where there's so many emotions that you could have aggressive music, heavy music, beautiful music, sad music, all these different types of emotions going on in one film would be an amazing thing for me. I just think that would be so fucking cool to do, and that's something that I'm really hoping pans out.
Then you can unite them.
We have to find a way to unite them.
Yes.
You know?
So I've got one last question, just because I'm curious, actually. Have you ever been asked with mariachi in Bronx to go and perform at weddings or at love announcements or something?
We get offers to do weddings all the time, actually, and we try our best to entertain them all. We've only done one officially. Actually, we've done two. Two. We did our friend Paul Clegg. We did his wedding in New York, and that was amazing. Absolutely beautiful. And then our good friend Dave Batty, who was in Australia, who's been our guy ever since we went to Australia. When the band first started, like 2002, we went over there. We've been with Dave from through thick and thin, and he had this amazing opportunity. He met an amazing woman, and he asked us to come out there and play his wedding, and we did that, and it was so cool. So cool. But yeah, I mean, why not? You know, like, I mean, I take it as a compliment, as an honor. I mean, to me, it's like it's beautiful music, and I'm proud of it. We all are. You know, we love it, and so anytime anybody wants to celebrate something like that, you know, with our music, we take it seriously, and we try to do our best to make it happen.
Okay, I'll remember that from when I get married. Okay, thanks very much.
All you need is $90,000.
Okay, maybe I should reconsider then. But anyways, thank you so much for the interview. It was very
Thank
pleasant.
you.
Yeah, bye.
Are you the Antichrist of all